Feels weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
My stepdad got a metal, he's got a metal plate, like right here on top of the bed. He goes, dude, I can't. He's like, there's something I just can't. And he goes, I don't know what it is. They just, he's like, I got to ride on for I get one. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's about my age.
Well,
Yeah.
sport coaches.
Yeah. Bro. Yeah. Stopped in here Thursday or Friday. I never got rid of it.
It's not source.
No. Senior, and he was catching, and I don't remember who was pitching, but he fooled me, man. I was with the curve. I was sitting dead red on the fastball or curve. I was sitting on curveball. Just knew it was coming, and he zipped a fastball in there, man, and I barely got around in time to get it. Well, it started out over the second baseman's head, and it had so much side spin to it. When it went over the fence, I mean, we couldn't have been that far inside the foul pole. And I wasn't being a smart ass or anything. I was just watching it as I was going up the first base line, thinking, man, is that going to stay in? When I came around, that was my introduction to Jason Wild. Boy, that's the luckiest shit you ever seen. Oh yeah.
It's the same question I've asked everybody with softball and baseball. So
Okay.
if you saw any one of them, you saw every question. As you can tell, I just scratched it out.
Gotcha.
Fraley, Cochran, they both did it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's in the morning.
Yeah. Then I watch anything. I try to watch St. Louis every chance I get where Josh is.
I do too.
Jaden.
He's just,
I hope he gets CT job for him. Just done.
there's rumors that's was in the pipeline.
I heard that's what he's holding out for as far as power. That's what I still text Jaden. Can you remember his son? They went to the Gap. Uh, he said that's he said that's what he's trying his best to hold out for. Power 5 is the UT job, but I shared a thing the other day. Jaden's number 6 in the nation in college. Coach's son points per game at .9.
Good.
Average points per game, he's 6th in the nation among college coaches' sons.
Keep up with that one. That was a good one.
I don't know. There's some guy in Indiana though. JaVale, he's averaging like 17. I don't know where his dad goes with that. He's a big old white dude. He's like a 6'8" forward.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you for going in here. Yours.
As far as they want to. I mean,
If you could ever get top 3 to have that one game.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Man, well, I mean, our top 5 had that one game against VP. They just shoot it so much better than us, man. They got that one kid playing again. They've got a post player, the big tight end on the football team, real good athlete. We didn't have anybody that big and strong. It's just hard to guard that for us right now with the Barton kid with the bell. I mean, that's been our good stuff.
Also last night against Claimer.
Yeah.
And they just run through the motions.
Yeah.
They didn't take it.
Which is that real good guard they have is he came from Seymour. He's their best player.
Yeah.
They're not Seymour, Sevier County.
Severe.
So, but if I can get a little more scoring out of some other starters, we'd be all right.
That's it. Well, really, the Colton.
We're waiting on him to get hot again.
Yeah.
He was averaging 19 last year, averaging 12 this year.
That girlfriend? What's going on there? Where's districts at?
It's at GP.
Oh my God.
It's at the Gap next year though, and the Reed's at the Gap next year.
Well, that's good. That's good news. You about ready?
Yep, whenever you are.
Whitaker Insurance. Value RX Pharmacy Tazewell. Roland Veterinary Services. Mary's Home Furnishings and Appliance Center. Claiborne Health and Wellness. Walker and Walker Construction. Stay and Play Doggy Daycare and more. Pizza Inn of Tazewell. Hearthside Bank. Danny England Motors. Clayton Homes of Middlesboro, Kentucky. John Smith Subs, Harrogate, Tennessee. Communications provided by First Century Bank.
Welcome to the Claiborne County Sports Zone's All Access hosted by the Sports Center. Today we have Nate and Gerald, his assistant, from Cumberland Gap Baseball. We're going to talk baseball and sports, baseball, life in general, anything that comes up. Before we start, I need to point out the partners that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. That's our team of marketing partners. Without them, we couldn't do what we do. And we appreciate you for watching. And the video that you just saw, that's our premier partners, and they help a ton. And First Century Bank gives us the means of communicating with you guys. So let's get started. Let's start with you, Nate. Give us a background. Where are you from?
Well,
For those that don't know.
I was born in Bell County. When I was in about the 3rd grade, I moved to Harrogate, and that's been home for me ever since the 3rd grade, except the 4-year layoff when I was in school.
Yeah. Gerald?
So I'm born in Middlesboro, transferred to Cumberland Gap my freshman year in high school. I graduated 2007, had an opportunity to play ball at Alsoy College, and now back to teaching middle school in Claiborne County.
Baseball there?
Baseball at Alsoy.
Good. Staying with Gerald, what all sports did you play and what was your favorite?
I played football and baseball in high school. I love football, but baseball has always been my passion from the time that I can remember throwing a ball as a kid. So baseball's fun.
Yeah. What about you, Nate?
I played basketball and baseball when I was in high school, and I kind of got to say, I love them both, equally. It's just it's two different paces, and two completely different games that you still get to be competitive in, and two different ways. So I went the college baseball route. I had offers, I had a chance to play basketball, but I was a true back to the basket post player at 6'3". I kind of figured I had a better chance, on the field.
I told you this before that, but you were just straight out willpower. I've not seen anybody enter the go that fought and battled as hard as you did.
I appreciate it.
It was fun to watch you. What did sports, for both of us, what did sports teach you?
Toughness, things ain't always going to go your way, and you can either, dig down and do your best and improve something, or, just give up. And, thankfully, I had a dad and a lot of good coaches that, I just wasn't an option. And they didn't let me do it, and eventually I kind of started doing it myself.
That's a good question. I would say discipline and accountability. You have to have discipline to be good at what you do and accountable for not only yourself but your teammates, and responsible to take that on the back of your shoulders and take on.
Uh, Favorite sports team, athlete, and why?
You want to take this or you want me to take this?
We can both go. I grew up a Red Sox fan mostly because when I put on my first little league, one of my first little league, minor league teams, whatever, I was a Red Sox fan. The more I got into baseball,
Same here, but Yankees. My first team was
well,
Yankees.
you're gonna appreciate this. You remember Coach Huffby that coached me at baseball at the Gap?
Yes.
He gave me a book one time and made me read it because I threw hard from the left side, and it was David Wells's biography. So I read that, and David Wells was a dog, and it was not the most talented pitcher, had good stuff, but he was a straight up dog. So I became a David Wells fan, and that's one of my favorite players. And he's kind of old school, and then kind of the new school. Chris Sale is just so talented and fun to watch. And when he's healthy, I was a big Chris Sale fan too, and he did a little stint with Boston.
Awesome. So collegiately, I bleed blue. I'm a Kentucky fan, but as far as professional baseball, I'm a Red Sox fan as well. I guess the only reason, I guess the main reason was it was always on TV, and then I started watching Big Papi, and then Manny Ramirez, and the huge rivalry between the Yankees and the Red Sox. That's when I really got into baseball.
There's been a lot of legends go through those organizations, and just really
Full of legends.
Hall of Famers.
Nomar Garcia Parra, Derek Jeter, A-Rod,
Yeah.
Dustin
Yeah,
Pedroia. Yeah.
Did either one of you want to be a coach?
Ever since I can remember, as a kid, I always wanted, I want to grow up and teach and coach. And my pathway is kind of like a winding road, but here we are, teaching and coaching. So it's kind of always been a life goal of mine.
I knew I wanted to be around sports somewhat, somehow. I wanted to go into med school, and I had, like I said, I had a baseball scholarship and I had an academic scholarship. Well, my dad lied to me about what my GPA had to be. With that being said, my college GPA wasn't bad, but I wasn't quite cutting it for pre-med and the scholarship that I was getting, to my knowledge. So I switched to bring my GPA back up. Well, it turns out I was qualifying the whole time. Like I said, Dad just wanted me to be better. So I switched majors, and the more I got to be around, the game, the athletes, I was like, I like this. And, not very many people have, but it's the truth. And, then I had a professor like, you'd be a good coach and teacher. So, I gave it a shot, and I didn't realize how much I like kids, man. I love my kids. I love those Gap kids. I know a lot of the Cleveland kids, and I've met a lot of them over time. I love kids, the majority of them. I really do. And it's just, and so it just wound up being a fit. It really did.
Kids are awesome. I teach middle school and coach high school, and
How did the job? How did it come to you? Describe that a little bit. How it come about?
So I got done, playing in college, and where we had to have so many hours of student teaching. I had to stay a little bit longer, so I was kind of stuck up there finishing that. It was weather related up there in Wise. It snows a bunch, and baseball related too. I had missed some hours because I had to take a 2 week layoff because of the school spring break, and then we took the spring break trip that I wasn't missing, baseball wise. So I stayed up there for a little bit, and some things wound up not working out with who was in my position before at the Gap, and it was a no brainer for me. I went and applied and wound up getting it, and I've been there since.
So I worked at LMU for 9 years prior to teaching, getting a teaching position. So through networking, I ended up with a teaching position, and through a great relationship with Nate prior to
Yeah.
just growing up around here, playing softball together. You know, Cumberland Gap's always been my home, and I knew as soon as I got back to the position, the opportunity and availability, I'd be back on the baseball field at the Gap.
What years did you work at LME?
So I worked at LME from 2015 to 2024.
What'd you do?
Worked as an advisor and student success coordinator for the majority of that time.
When I was full time with the paper, I did a lot of sports over there. So
It's actually kind of funny. Gerald was actually kind of in the same boat I was when I was a junior in high school. You had just graduated out. So he helped us for a couple of weeks, but he had he was your own man, had to have a job and had bills to pay. Even though I'm the bald one, Gerald is older than me.
That's right. That's right. I'm the uncle of the team.
Yeah.
They call us.
you first, Gerald. What did you learn from your former coaches?
Oh, yeah. So when I think back about former coaches, I think Coach Hamilton, Coach David Hamilton, Coach Peter, and Coach Stevenson was my high school coaches. Coach Hamilton was always hard nosed, but had a lot of accountability. So if something went wrong, he took accountability for it, responsibility for it, and then addressed it. I guess behind the scenes. So his leadership style, and then Coach Stevenson and Coach Pierman, just how much that they actually cared for the players, and then college coach, same way. Discipline was huge on him. One thing I remember, I didn't understand at the moment. We always had to shave during the season. And then had to clean your cleats before every game. So I was like, that don't make sense. Well, it makes sense now. It's a pride thing, and
For sure, right.
Yeah.
Nate?
You know, Same thing. Jeff Stevenson, and I worked under David Hamilton for a little bit. Ernie McClawson, everybody in Claiborne County remembers that guy. And Nick Huckabee and my dad. And the biggest thing for me, and I don't know why it sticks out so much, but I try to bring out my kids too. When I coach and when they play, you do not quit or give in under any circumstance. That was Ernie Clausen, David Hamilton, Jeff Stevenson, my dad, Coach Huckabee. You don't give in, and you just don't. You don't quit. And we won some comeback games last year, so I feel like we're trying, starting to get over that.
Yeah, you had some good comebacks last year.
Yeah, I don't want my guys to quit under any circumstance, no matter what, no matter who we're playing either. And and I feel like it started, especially after maybe that first third of the year basketball wise. I feel like the basketball team too plays very hard. And I know we're talking about baseball right now, but I feel like I've got a lot of kids that'll play hard and play the last whistle, last strike, and that's what's important to me, because you can make up for a lot of things if you're maxed effort the whole time you're there.
That's right. Okay. Let's talk about Panther baseball this year. Did you have many come out? Is the team set, or is there a way for a student to come in and help you out now, or is it locked in?
We've got our team set, but the door's always open if somebody wants to come try out. I tell kids that all the time. They're just joking with me. Like, hey, coach, I want to play baseball. I say, well, come on up and just bring some cleats and a glove. Make sure you have a physical, and we'll get you out there and kind of see what you got and give you the same chance we give everybody else. We've got 14 guys this year. Lost Tate Murphy and Hudson Harris last year. They both hit 400-ish maybe a little bit more for us. Brought in a. I wish it was bigger, but we brought in a fairly talented freshman class. We feel like. So what I think that's going to bring, I think we're going to be more balanced throughout our lineup this year. We were still young last year with a lot of sophomores. Those guys are juniors now, and I think they're all ready to take a step forward. So I think even though we lost that top end heavy lineup with those two guys, I think we're going to be more balanced because of the junior class, and there is talent in that freshman class. I wish we had enough to play JV. Because I would stay out there all night if we could, but it's just tough to do that pitching wise with 14 kids.
True. Okay, overall, is the program in good shape?
Yeah, I feel like we're in good shape. We've got Hunter Gibson's a senior. He's been a staple for us for 4 years. I mean, he's been there. He took a huge step forward last year and batted over 300. He had kind of struggled at the plate previously, but he's figured that out. He figured it out last year. And if he takes another step forward, he's going to be tough because the kid can fly and he's a ball hawk in the outfield. Cole Carter made the All-State team last year.
We'll get to him.
Yeah, I mean, Cole can flat swing it. He's bigger, faster, and stronger this year, and he's just a sophomore.
Does the program need any physical items, or have you got everything in place, or is there a need out there that the businesses can come in and help you a little bit?
No, we're always looking to improve, but we're in a pretty good spot. We've got great community help. We've got a turtle for us to hit outside on the field. I mean, you've seen the field. Field's in great shape. We've got a locker room. We're planning on adding to that. We need baseballs, but we'll get those. I mean, it's right now we're in a good enough spot where it's just routine stuff for us.
Okay, what about signage? If somebody business wants to display their logo, how much is it? Who do they contact?
Well, that's funny. We just got a renewal sheet out today. We're going to be getting those up soon. If you want to add a new sign, it's $250, and then if you want to renew it next year, it's $200. If you want a bigger one, and depending on where you want to put it, because we have specific spots, and we'll talk price on that.
Okay, this is for both of you. Are you going to try to network a little better with the middle school team, or do you feel like your last year was good and there's really not much networking that needs done?
I'll take over that. I mean, that's a great question. I think networking is huge. So I teach middle school, 5th through 8th grade, and I'm in every middle school that's north of the river. So I go to Ford Ridge, Clairfield, Powell Valley, and Livesey. So just building that relationship early on with the kids is huge, but it's going to help the program even more throughout the next few years. Talking with Coach Hanger, Coach Trent, Coach Collinsworth, and then knowing the JV coaches well is huge. It's going to help us in the next few years.
What's expected of the players on your team?
As far as I've got
overall.
I've got a pretty lengthy rule sheet that my older guys know well by now. My younger guys are looking at. For my first year guys, including if we got a junior that comes out, not just freshmen, it's got to be taken home and signed by their parents and themselves before they can go. We got a scrimmage next Thursday before they go. My older guys, I know their parents have seen it. It doesn't change very much. Every now and then, if I have to, I'll change something. But my older guys sign it. It's normal stuff. Be on time. You're responsible for your uniform, including your wristband. Your belt. Respect your teachers. I don't. No, she's not respect your teachers. You can't have an F in class. Period. If you got an F, and we got a game on a Monday, and it's away, and I look at your ass and you got an F, you're not getting on the bus. The only way you get on the bus is if your teacher calls me and says, "Hey, I ain't updated grades," it'll be above F. Just a lot of stuff like that. I expect my guys to, 3:40. If I say be at the field at 3:45 for a game day, be at the field at 3:45, 3:46, 3:47. You're not playing. If you don't come to practice, you're not playing. If you got a reason, you better tell me. It better be a good one.
That is awesome. Okay, let's get to positions now. Talk about your pitching.
I think we're going to be deeper on the mound with more strike throwers, which is a good thing. He's been working with them a lot. I've been doing a lot of hitting and fielding stuff, but George Capps is a kid that has absolutely worked his tail off and has upside. He throws it well from the left side, and he's got good stuff. If he can just stay in the zone,
It'll be nice.
He's a number one that's gonna be tough for people to handle, from the left side. Eli Reed has been consistent his entire career, and I actually hope that he makes the jump at the plate as well. But we'll talk about that later. We can always rely on Eli to be in the zone with good stuff. Looking to move Cole Carter. Ideally for us, we've got a 1-2 punch. We got to find that third guy. Cole Carter's going to catch a ton of innings for us this year and bring some, velo, good stuff to the game, more velo than everybody else. So we'd like to move him to a 1 inning here and there. We had to have you to shut down a game type of role. Brody Lee's a freshman that's got, some good stuff and solid velo for a freshman. Need him to stay in the zone. He'll pitch a lot. Colson Nash, same thing. Got to stay in the zone. He's got pretty good stuff. Aiden Bailey is a strike thrower. Not the greatest stuff, but there's always room for improvement. You can improve your stuff. If you're in the zone, we can always improve your stuff, and that's going to come. So we look for a guy like that to pitch a lot. Jaden Pierman's got velo and good stuff as well. Has a tendency to lose zone sometimes, so if he grows out of that, he'll pitch a lot. It was actually kind of funny. He made a start for us last year, and it was
first six.
Yeah, he clicked it about pitch 60. He's one of these. So we got to get it showed out. So he's kind of got to get over that. I don't think I missed anybody on our pitching staff.
Ryan Garside,
yeah.
a lot of strikes right now.
We've got another little funky lefty. That's a freshman.
Behind the plate, you'll have that little guy called Cole Carter, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Who else is?
Who else is? Yeah.
What's up with that? I mean, his dad's.
He's about 6 foot tall. I mean, he's starting to look like a man, and as a sophomore, second best pop time in the state, and everybody knows how he swings it. That's a guy that adjusts from the worst pitching we see to the best pitching we see. A very tough out. And
He did last year for sure.
Yeah. He's starting to generate some legitimate and impressive interest from schools. So
Yeah.
Not only physically, but grown as a teammate, as a leader. So I mean, his baseball ability is there, his skills are there, but I've been impressed with his ability to lead at the sophomore.
Yeah, he's a really good kid, man. And got a great relationship with his dad. He's another small business owner that supports the community a lot. And but he was a coach's son, and he handed that responsibility over to us, and then we had kind of had to earn Cole's trust. It's been nothing but great, as far as that goes.
Who else behind the plate?
Colson Nash. Colson, and we're impressed because he's been kept, the way we work our bullpens, he catches our hardest thrower, and a guy that's got really good stuff, and he's super comfortable. That's a guy we got no problem putting back there, especially as he grows, and his transfer, and his release, and his arm strength gets better, and his footwork gets better.
What about the infield? Let's just go around the bases if you want.
Go around the bases.
So Jaden, first base.
Yeah, that could be any combination of Jaden. Jaden can play anywhere. Jaden's tough as nails. Not the most mobile kid in the world, but he's got a good arm. And he's got decent hands. And, if he misses one, it's not because he's afraid to not put his body in front of it. You could look to see our big tall lefty George Katz there. George has got decent hands. He's got to work on his speed a little bit and getting his hands out in front and fielding stuff. But you can see him some potentially at first base. When Jaden's fishing. Another kid, Bryson McDaniel, that's our co-op from the academy. You can potentially see him there some as well. At second base, it could be depending on who's throwing a lot. It could be any combination of Brody Lee, Colson Nash, or Eli Reed. Maybe Cole if we want to give Cole a rest day because he can't come off the field. Brody and Colson both have good hands and are improving every day. Colson throws it, or Brody throws it a little bit better than Colson. So you might see Brody more on that left side, Colson more on that right side if he's not catching. Shortstop has to be Eli Reed when he's not pitching. He's a junior. It's time for him to take a step forward there. Eli's played the second most baseball games out of anybody on our team. He's a junior. That's a kid that's played a lot, and that's a guy we need to, he needs to step up and be somebody for us. Third base is right now, it looks like it could be Aiden Bailey. He's smooth, good hands, throws well. Brody Lee. A lot of our stuff's going to come down to hitting competition. Brody and Colson are very interchangeable at different spots. You could even see them come some in the outfield because they run well. So it could be Brody, Aiden, Jaden. we just don't really know yet. We've not had enough field time to see, and a lot of it's going to change based off our pitching.
Sounds good. Let's move out to the outfield.
Outfield, Hunter Gibson has had center field lockdown for 3 years. He's ball hawk, he can run.
Yep.
Our corners are going to be interchangeable. Would love for it to be Noah Meyer in left field. There's more experience there. That's another kid that runs like the wind. It's not the most smooth and fluid and technically sound kid, but the effort and the hustle is always there. And he's getting better at that. His arms improving, every day. And then Ryan Garside will be out there. Ryan has really good tracking ability. He's not the fastest kid in the world, but he makes the right read and takes good steps, always high points in baseball. George is improving out there, and George is deceptively fast with a good arm. It'll be hard to keep him out of the outfield. Like I said, we could push Brody and Colson out there. Those are our two most interchangeable freshmen. I mean, they're very skilled. They're those guys that ain't gonna hurt you anywhere, but where they help you best type of situation. Bryson McDaniel's another one we want to see, keep improving. Swings it from the left side, has potential to have a real pop once we get some kinks worked out. And, is solid out there. He's got to keep improving.
This is for both of you.
Curtis and
darn you.
Two new guys. They've been there working hard. Curtis is fast as a cat. We're going to get him some experience base running. We're going to move some runners this year. Be disciplined on the base path. And then Caden's a great kid, great teammate. There to work hard. Best of my knowledge, first year he's ever played. But he showed up every day and shows us he's on.
Yeah, that's something we're lucky about. I mean, we got a team for great kids.
Okay, let's talk strengths of the team. What do you think that'll be this year?
I think we'll be more defensively solid for sure. And I think we're not going to have anybody that's going to be a home run threat constantly, especially at our place. I mean, how big our place plays. But like I said, I think we're going to be more balanced for sure. 1 through 9, and I think we're going to be much more defensively sound. And I think there will be more strikes thrown this year, for sure.
Same. Pistons been looking great. I get to take a peek at hitters as well. They're driving the ball, so I'm just excited. 1 through 9, more consistent. Last year, that bottom lineup, we needed more production. This year, we'll get that production.
Yeah. Let's go the opposite of that. What's the weaknesses?
Strength of numbers, I'd say. I mean, we got 14 guys, but if we had more, we could intersperse each other. So I would say the weakness as far as just numbers wise to me.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard just because of the numbers. It's going to be very hard for us to simulate stuff in a game type setting a lot. That's just it. 14 kids, it's tough to do stuff. You got to field. You got to field 9 spots, and then if you want to put a lot of runners on, and you got a couple of kids that ain't 100% sure what's going on all the time, making those right reads, and making their teammates better because they know everybody's got to know where the ball goes, and nobody gets hung up.
Not in terms of wins and losses, but what would be a successful season? You first.
Playing better in May than we did in March, or April, late April than we did in March.
So I told my boys what I was going to say. Coach Nate don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say a season above 500 with some upsets and to sweep that team south of the river.
Yeah, that's always good. That is always good.
That's for you, Eli Reed, Cole Carter, the ones I just told.
That is always good.
Brownie points for you. All right. Last words to both of you. Want to say anything? Go ahead.
I'm looking forward to it. These kids, for everybody out there watching, I'm not a fan of NFHS, Huddle Live, all that stuff. I think you do a great job with what you do, and I think, Ben Harris does a great job with our stuff. Guys, you don't understand how much our kids like seeing you there. Nothing beats your butt being in the seat at a game day. Don't watch it at home. Come to the park.
Absolutely.
Same. Come out and support our local kids. I'm just excited to get this season started, get some warmer weather, and get some baseball going. It's baseball season.
All right. Well, I hope to see you a few times this season myself.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun year, I think, for both sides of the river.
Yep.
Well, thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Thanks for you people that watch. Without you, what would we do? I mean, you're the reason why we do what we do. And just to touch on what he said, I don't ever want to take people out of the seats. I'm just offering this service mostly for those that, the older people that can't be there. And I think that's what happens.
Yeah.
But I would never do this to take away from seats.
Oh, yeah.
Butts in the seats.
Yeah, I understand. It's it's just one of those things. It's worldwide. The way technology and stuff's improving, and
This county went so far for so long without adequate
Yeah.
support coverage, and I love doing it.
Yeah.
Back to Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. And thanks for Rex for hosting us up here. I mean, he didn't have to, and he does out of the goodness of his heart because he loves sports too. Until next time, may God bless you.
Thank you.